The first thing women notice about a rebuilt man isn't his face, his clothes, or even his confidence. It's what happens when he doesn't get the reaction he wanted, because you can memorize every line, fix your posture, lower your voice, learn how to look confident. But if you're secretly terrified that she won't like you, something still leaks through. Not magic, not some mysterious female sixth sense. Your behavior changes. You speak a little faster. You watch her reaction a little too closely. You try harder when she pulls away. You become quieter when you feel rejected. And people are remarkably good at picking up patterns like these, often before they can explain exactly what feels different. That's why attraction isn't really something you perform. It's something your behavior reveals. For years, a lot of men make the same mistake. They think attraction is a skill. Learn the right opener, say the right thing, project confidence, become more impressive. And when it doesn't work, they assume they need a better technique. But the problem was never the technique. It was the target. You were aiming at her. You should have been aiming at yourself. I know because I spent years doing the same thing, reading the books, studying the psychology, trying to become more interesting, more confident, more desirable. And then something strange happened. The moment I stopped trying so hard to be interesting was the moment people started paying more attention. Not because I discovered some secret trick, because I stopped constantly asking the room for permission to feel valuable. That is what rebuilding actually means. Not becoming colder, not pretending you don't care, and definitely not acting like you're above women. It means building a life that still feels meaningful when nobody is watching. Because when your entire emotional state depends on another person's attention, your behavior becomes reactive. She replies, you're up. She pulls away, you're down. She approves, you feel powerful. She rejects you, you question yourself. At that point, you're not pursuing connection anymore. You're pursuing relief. And once you understand that, you can finally understand what women notice first. Not perfection, not status, not some performed version of confidence. They notice the man whose inner state doesn't completely collapse when the outside world changes. And that is where the real transformation begins. This is where most men get it backwards. They think becoming more attractive means becoming more impressive. More money, more muscle, better clothes, more confidence. But none of those things matter much if your emotional state is still controlled by whoever is standing in front of you. Because the rebuilt man is different. He can be interested without becoming desperate. He can care without losing himself. And most importantly, he can handle uncertainty without immediately trying to control it. That matters because your nervous system is constantly reacting to social feedback. When someone pulls away, your brain doesn't simply observe it. It searches for meaning. What did I do? Did I say something wrong? How do I get her attention back? And that creates a dangerous loop. The more you need a certain response, the more your behavior starts organizing itself around getting that response. You become less spontaneous, less present, more calculated. You're no longer experiencing the moment. You're managing it. And people can feel that difference. Not because they can read your mind, but because emotional pressure changes behavior. Your voice, your timing, your attention, your body language, your ability to sit comfortably in silence. A rebuilt man doesn't eliminate emotion. He becomes harder to control through emotion. That's the difference. And this is where philosophy enters the picture. The ancient Stoics understood something modern dating culture often forgets. You can influence another person's opinion. You cannot own it. You can offer your presence. You cannot demand their desire. You can become better. You cannot force yourself to be chosen. So the goal isn't to become a man who never gets rejected. The goal is to become a man who doesn't need rejection to become a verdict on his worth. That's when your behavior changes. You stop chasing every signal. You stop performing. You stop trying to prove that you're enough. And strangely, that's when your presence becomes stronger, because there is finally something underneath it. A life, a direction, a standard, a self. The rebuilt man doesn't walk into a room thinking, how do I make them like me? He walks in thinking, what kind of man am I going to be in this room? That's a completely different question. And eventually, people notice the answer. Not because you announce that you've changed, because you no longer have to.